That's it. Now that's what I call a UFO encounter. Hello everyone and welcome to the CM Kozeman New Jersey UAP Panic Special. We are in a very festive mood because we are recording this podcast on Christmas Day, 25th of December 2024. And as it fits a Christmas occasion, we got lots of gifts to everyone who supports me on Patreon. The links are below. If you follow me on Patreon, you will get access to this incredible UFO song you just heard. As of now, sit back, relax, and let's go with our deep dive into the New Jersey UAP scare of December 2024. At the date of posting, this will be familiar news to everyone, but of course I am always recording with hindsight and posterity in mind. I want people to listen to these podcasts in 3, 5, 10, 15 years and remember how things were back then. So let's do a recap. Around the 10th of December 2024, reports began filtering in mostly from social media, that is to say TikTok and Twitter, of strange lights and weird UFO-like UAPs or drones, mainly from New Jersey, but soon these spread all over the United States and people were reporting all sorts of weird shit. Now here are a few examples. These are just chosen at random. Let's see. On the 24th of December, some account named Task Force UAP. So from the get-go, these guys have a task force dedicated to UAP. Or they're just like a bunch of serious guys wearing serious dark clothes. They probably, paid and rented an office and they have these task force equipment, maybe even like a phone line or something. They're just, oh my god, what the hell is your task? You are a force, you and which army? God, you can tell so much from just simple names. Anyways, our heroes at Task Force UAP filmed something like 2 globes of light, and they say, can we even really call these drones at this point? Share this video. Compelling evidence, clearly not airplanes, not stars, as they move in real time. And all we see here are 2 dots floating about a weirdly out of focus night landscape. Okay, let's look at another example. Once again, we are looking at these, remember, we are looking at these as social media artifacts. So pay attention to the poster's name, the way they write, and try to look beyond just the images or the videos they're sharing. Because, well, there's just a lot of images and this is just a brief sampling. Here we go. This is a more mysterious sort of Twitter post from somebody named Jason at Protest Roots. It shows a blue globe floating about. It says it's the 19th of December, New Jersey. The blue light has something like a laser pointing towards the ground and another laser scanning the horizon like a lighthouse. You know, the sort you would see near the sea. And nothing beyond this. It just says, video by Bruce Conway, 12/19/24, New Jersey. The more mysterious UAP post. Another incredible post by somebody named Ethical Truther, and it shows the more airplane-like drone type of things, which have been actually conclusively proven to be business jets. But the business jets in the US are lit up in a special way that has illuminations for their undercarriage, for their tail, for their wings. And when you film them at a low altitude, they just look like strange futuristic aircraft. And people go around filming these, sharing them, and they just say, oh, these are not airplanes. They look like airplanes, but they're actually some sort of secret military drone. And that's what our friend Ethical Truther says. Additional footage of drone sighting '(S) in New Jersey, not planes in capitals. Light patterns deviate from FAA guidelines, suggesting tech-based or UAP mimicry. Now, this is just incredible because it shows a kind of back and forth that went on about these airplane drones among the skeptics and the, let's say, more credulous people. Well, first, as I just told you, these airplane images or videos were shared saying there's a special sort of drone or some shit. And then people stepped in saying that these are actually airplanes, and pixel by pixel they pointed out, look, this is that light, that is this light. But now the believers have kind of hit back and they say, no, they deviate from FAA guidelines. And I love their creative use of language here. They say tech-based or UAP mimicry. So it's either tech-based. Now, can you show me a man-made floating object that's not based on technology? I mean, what else is there, Tech-based or birds or swamp gas, I guess. I just love this thing. Next time I'm just gonna film a truck on a distant hillside at night and I'll post it online saying tech-based anomaly. It's based on technology, just not telling you what sort of tech. And I also love their creative idea of UAP mimicry. So there are these UAPs which apparently mimic airplane-like, drone-like, tech-based pieces of shit. And this is just great proof that human imagination knows no bounds, nor reason, nor relent. And if somebody wants to believe in something, I guess there's nothing you can do under the sun to convince them otherwise. UAP mimicry. So there are these like floating, almost organic, maybe plasma-based, as opposed to tech-based, UFO kinds of things, almost like Transformers. They go and take the form of a business jet. More than meets the eye. Something like this also used to happen with the so-called gray alien encounters. People used to report seeing large-eyed beings in the woods, and skeptics said, no, they're actually owls, which actually, if you've seen one, can really look terrifyingly like a small humanoid creature sitting on the tree. So the true believers came back with a retort saying that, no, these are actually aliens, but they retroactively project the image of an owl into your memory to erase the trauma of their true appearance. So the gray aliens have the power to edit minds and implant memories. So they're like, whoop, just an owl, man. Nothing suspicious here. Even though you were screaming and shouting about seeing aliens before, but no, actually that was an alien looking like an owl, presenting as an alien, which is owl coded or something like this. I also don't get why the aliens don't choose a more innocuous or mundane form of camouflage. Why look like a scary woodland creature while you can just turn yourself into, I don't know, a fucking mailbox? You can edit memories here. Just a car, man. Just a tree. But no, it has to look like something that's scary and almost like their true appearance. Now, if you are a first-time listener to this channel, you probably realize that I am more interested in the social folklore surrounding these mystery reports than the mystery of those reports themselves. In most cases, I don't think the mystery is even there at all, but still, They're very relevant and very interesting to study as articles of contemporary folk culture. Anyways, let's hit back those UAP reports from Twitter. We got something from Exiled Earthling. Some of these names are so stereotypical that I can't help but think they are concerted in some way. Anyways, Exiled Earthling posts the video of, I don't know, something like a slightly glowing plastic toy floating in the wind, and the caption says, "What did I just witness in the sky? What on earth is that?" Witness believes it's one of those New Jersey #drones. I hate to break it to them. That isn't any drone. That's a UAP / #UFO or something even more bizarre. Check it out. So this highlights a division within the believer crowd itself. To some, these things are just government drones conducting some sort of weird surveillance operation. But for the true believers, that's not hardcore enough. They're actually UAPs, genuine, weird, blobby, non-technological things, probably from outer space or maybe another dimension. And I'm sure there's two other factions having a debate about those two. Well, that's how the thing actually developed. First, people started reporting drones, and then the weird blob footage joined the fun. There was lots of footage showing just weird lights or out of focus pieces of cellophane reflecting the light from the ground. I don't know. A lot of weird blobby stuff. A lot of them were actually just plain AI made. And that's one thing the true believers overlook in this day and age. A lot of this footage was made by AI, and that thing is really easy to fake. Really easy to fake with AI. And then this thing is just like a chemical reaction. Once you get it going, other factors join the fray. So not before long, there was footage of what I think are actual drones or weird DIY drone type creations masquerading as UAPs or government drones. Remember, North America is the most technically advanced and wealthy part of the world, so there are a lot of hobbyists who can create weird drones just for fun. And here are some more Twitter posts showing this phenomenon in action. This one says drones Bedminster NJ. Source K-Prince. Location pin emoji. New Jersey, Bedminster, USA. The best UFO UAP drone footage we have just received. So these people are some sort of organization. People are sending their footage to them. Yeah, I'm sure they're not just stealing other people's footage. But anyways, what we see here is like a gaudy, basically big hobby drone with green and red lights floating low over a town. There's no need to retort to extraterrestrial or even government conspiratorial explanations for this. Another footage, once again, this could be AI too because it's got this very particular blurring to it, and it's posted by somebody called 9 Won't Miss. People started calling the cops on these lights UFO, UAP drones in New Jersey. The way this is written, maybe this account itself is some sort of AI bot, but we are seeing 12 blue lights rising out of the sea or sinking into the sea in some sort of quasi-Kabbalistic formation. They look like this tree of life diagram if you're familiar with Kabbalah, but it looks like somebody is just practicing with formation flying drones. At this point, it's easy to understand that people are just using any interesting footage or image to make the drone craze relevant. Just like I told before, it's like a chemical reaction picking up speed. Okay, let's look at another tweet. This one from December 11th, posted by a checked mark fellow calling himself or herself Just. Location, New Jersey, USA. Motion detected on door cam and started recording. Looks like two UFO UAP drone-like shapes swooping over the house. Also looks like there's some kind of field surrounding both of them. Well, this is not from New Jersey, I can attest. We're actually looking at door camera footage of a satellite launch, and the image is real. In this case, it's not doctored or cooked up by AI or in the form of some sort of a blob. It is actually a really weird thing in the sky. Problem is, it's been ripped out of context, and we are looking at probably a Starlink satellite launch. So that's that. Now let's look at another viral UAP post on Twitter. This is from somebody called Jay Anderson with a blue check mark. His other Twitter name is The Project Unity. Once again, I love these games. It's like a bunch of stakeholders or like well-wishing Samaritans came together. It's Project Unity, the union of mankind. And they started reposting, well, UAP clickbait stuff. This is very simple. Jay Anderson says, breaking news with the police light emoji. UFO/UAP following a United Airlines flight. And we have a very weird footage of something with green lights trailing an airplane. And it looks like it's been filmed from the window of the airplane. Problem is, this post has been community noted, and fact checkers have verified that this video was generated with AI. Well, this post is like a wake-up call, because if you go on Twitter at the date of recording, which is around late December 2024, and you search for UAPs or UFOs or New Jersey or whatever, you get a lot of video posts, and a lot of them have the same format as this debunked AI post. It's in a vertical format. The lines, the lens, I don't know what, but it's like blurry in a certain way. It looks slick, but it also looks amateurish. It's something you get it when you see it, but it's blurred in a certain way that you really don't get when you film something amateurly with your cell phone otherwise. But it's the AI's slick, perfected approximation of something like that. I'm sure the prompt master, whoever who's doing these, put in the prompt slightly blurry cell phone footage. And despite that, the UAPs or the UFOs which appear in these videos, they look too perfect, too good to be true. So that should be a wake-up call. And we have this final post from YouTube. Now, this is supposedly a very realistic UAP seen in New Jersey again. And it's called New Jersey UAP Up Close and Personal. Are they having a cozy romantic dinner with this UAP? I don't know. But it's a kind of recap of something ripped from either Instagram stories or TikTok or maybe both. It's got the Spanish caption, Un morador de New Jersey filmó de perto. I don't know what this means, and I probably butchered the pronunciation, but sorry. And it shows something like a cocktail shaker that's the size of a small car hovering at around like 10 meters or 30 feet above a suburban street somewhere. And the object has stubby little wings like a weird UAP. It's really bizarre. But once again, it also looks too much like those viral AI generated blurry video posts. And once again, these artifacts, these repost of a reposting from TikTok and Instagram, this slight garbled aesthetic, it looks suspiciously artificial. And the UAP is a weird one, I won't deny it, but, I guess somebody's just milking the hype train or getting on the bandwagon, so that is that. Now, that was our brief sampling of UAP posts on Twitter mostly and YouTube and a few other places. Once again, I want you to look at these as cultural artifacts. We're not trying to determine if these are real images or real videos or what they show or even try to explain them. But look at them as cultural artifacts, and you uncover a lot of interesting and juicy hints in every detail, ranging from the quality of the videos to the names the users have chosen for themselves to even the grammar mistakes they make. I think that's really telling. But the media cultural angle aside, these UAP sightings really reached a fever pitch towards the 15th of December, and at one point it was all that everybody was talking about. I mean, big podcasters such as Joe Rogan picked it up, and that had a kind of positive feedback effect. It accelerated the quote-unquote chemical reaction extremely rapidly. And at one point, even President-elect Trump gave a statement saying that all he knew was that these were taking off from government sites and maybe military sites. They're operated by the government, and that was that, I mean, this thing was asked to the president. That's how big it got. And in that fever pitch of the phenomenon, I, like many other people, I'm not immune to this system. I'm part of this system, So I, like many other people, was really suspicious. Maybe something is going on. I looked at all the videos I could find, much more than the brief sampling I provided you. And I realized that there were certain categories of objects being recorded and shared. Now, one was obviously planes or plane type UAPs. Mostly these were just business jets. Some were really weird, and I guess they were probably AI made. Others were globes of plasma, quote unquote, and these were just really far off sources of light. They could be anything. They could be lights on a distant aircraft. They could be car headlights on a distant hill. They could even be pranks, like drones somebody's actually flying in a distance and the neighbor just happens to record it and go crazy over it. That's how these things accelerate, like a wildfire. I keep repeating this wildfire or chemical reaction analogy because I really find it interesting. In this day of pervasive social media usage, everybody is a consumer, everybody is a potential creator. Once something picks up, a lot of noise gets mixed in. So much that you can't really tell if the thing was real or not to begin with. And wow, I guess whoever invented postmodernism must be laughing in his merry grave. But yeah, going back to the UAP categories, there are the plasma or globe UAPs, which are just these distant lights and filmed from a bad cell phone camera. They kind of look like globes or, well, like amoeba really, organic things almost. And of course people really jump on these and they say, they're not technical machines. Remember, they're not technological. They're something else. They're sky entities, sky fish, ghosts, spirits, maybe even a form of life that inhabits the atmosphere. And I really have to take my hat off to these imaginative explanations. These are just speculative evolution at its unintended folkloric best. And obviously these are just weird, badly filmed lights, but it doesn't matter when you're getting the clicks and you're getting the interaction. Moving on. Despite all the skepticism I've been displaying for the past half hour, there was actually numerous footage that really did show strange drones. I would not call them strange, but let's say out of place drones doing things that the government could not or did not explain. And if you search for these New Jersey drones, you will find a lot of them. And they are really not made by AI. They're not misidentified things. They're just drones doing their drone-y things. And yes, I concede that we cannot really explain what these things were or what they were doing, but they left their mark on history. So like a lot of people, I was really convinced that something weird was going on. There's no smoke without fire, as we just explained. But also, in the day of social media, there's a hell of a lot more smoke than fire. But yeah, anyways, for a while I thought maybe it was like a manhunt, or maybe the police were chasing for a terror suspect or searching for something that should not be free, And of course, the speculative evolution masters manning the conspiracy accounts on social media, they actually said, no. 2 separate things are happening. First, you got the globes, which are the real aliens, and they're really coming down, bringing it down to Earth and shit. And then there's the government drones who are spying on the aliens. You see, it's all connected. All jokes aside, you really have to admire this drive to connect everything into a coherent universe. That's why I like conspiracy theories and basically weird crank stuff like this. I think a healthy dose of that stuff really strengthens your immune system against true bullshit and makes you a better thinker overall. But going back to the New Jersey drone panic, despite all the pandering fakes and all the paranoia and the weird crank explanations, somebody really did post a theory which really resonated with me, at least for a while, and this somebody was a certain John Ferguson on TikTok. It is Ferguson, and apparently this gentleman owns a drone manufacture company named Saxon Aerospace. That's Saxon as an Anglo-Saxon. Anyways, in so many words, John Ferguson said that these drones are operated by the government on a secret mission to probably spot a nuclear weapon which has been lost. Broken arrow. UFO! The clock is ticking. Launch all the drones right now. Oh my god. Well, it's Christmas special, so you get nice action sequences like this. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope your earbuds are doing fine. But yeah, to get back to seriousness for a second, yeah, that's basically what this gentleman was saying. He was firmly convinced that there was a loose nuclear weapon and the drones were flown in panic by the government to search for isotopes or radioactive trails given off by these loose nukes, which were probably around New Jersey, and maybe some bad guys were getting ready to ship them to Manhattan and blow them up there. If you lived through those days, I'm talking about maybe the 15th to 17th of December 2024, there was a palpable air of like something big is about to go down, at least on Twitter and the echo chamber that is social media in general. But there were no nukes, there was no World War III, and a week or so later there was a rebuttal by intelligence analyst, fact finder and engineer Ryan Macbeth. I think he's also on YouTube, and in the off chance that he is listening, well, hello there. That's Ryan Macbeth. That's MCBETH. Go look him up. He's got a huge YouTube channel, certainly more popular and successful than this here nest of eccentricity. Anyways, Ryan Macbeth's rebuttal basically said that there's no way to detect nukes from a distance because they are hardened and shielded. If you have a nuke in a room, the radiation won't affect you and you can't even pick that up. So unless the military-industrial complex has some sort of ultra advanced sensor which operates beyond our contemporary understanding of physics, there was no need to fly these drones around to detect loose nukes. And he concluded by saying something very memorable, stating that there are probably these drone flights happening and maybe it's a government exercise. For what, we don't know, but he concluded by saying that a lack of transparency always makes people turn immediately to conspiracies, no matter what. And especially in our fragmented, fractured post-truth world. And I think that's a great takeaway for any lesson there. So my hat off to Ryan Macbeth. So now let's get to my official canon view of these New Jersey UAP sightings. I personally think at the moment this can change, of course, but I personally think that it was 89% social media fluff, smoke without fire, with cloud seekers, bots, AI enthusiasts, drone hobbyist fakers, and people who just wanted something to be interesting in their lives, all piling in. Heck, maybe some nefarious actors too. I mean, in his rebuttal of John Ferguson, Ryan Macbeth says that the official line of a lost nuke was actually Russian propaganda, and John Ferguson was wittingly or unwittingly repeating that. But it is really telling, because in our day and age, people really want something big to go down. And depending on your psychosocial profile, maybe you want it to be a revelation, aliens coming and a new fair age beginning for all mankind. Or maybe you want everything to freaking end. I think it was Haruki Murakami, the Japanese author, who said everyone deep in their hearts is waiting for the end of the world to come. I personally alternate between wanting everything to end violently and everything to change spectacularly several times per day. And so do many people. It's a very human desire to latch on to stories that promise extreme danger, the end of the world, or a new age. That being said, I said it was 89% smoke, and the remaining 11%, I am convinced, hinted at some sort of increased drone activity, obviously orchestrated by the US government. I don't think this was a hunt for a rogue nuke, but I think they were testing some sort of system. And I think in these cases, the truth is stranger than fiction. It could be some sort of an autonomous drone swarm that doesn't need an operator, but you just push a button and the system coordinates multiple drones across different counties, covering the entire state, looking for whatever you wanted to find. It could be the test of a drone monitoring system intended for use in an actual nuclear explosion, heaven forbid. Certainly these systems are seeing a crazy acceleration in development, and I'm sure there's multiple billions of US defense budget dollars being plowed into any drone-related project these days, especially in the aftermath of what's been happening in Ukraine. And that is that, everybody. That's my lowdown and my Christmas special explanation of the New Jersey UAP craze of 2024. Once again, I've been recording this on Christmas night, the 25th of December 2024, and I hope you all enjoyed this show. I hope you enjoyed my crazy songs and sound effects. And once again, this all goes to show us how media forces and the pathological secrecy inherent in the United States military-industrial complex results in people reacting in a certain way to perceived technological threats. We really are living in an age of, people used to call this post-truth and social media fragmentation and stuff like that, but I think it's really kind of devolved down into a mystery morass of information. You don't know who is right, you don't know what is what even. I mean, in anything you see on social media, you must always imagine a chain of boxes. What are you looking at? How was it filmed? How was that film processed? How was that processed film put into context? Who is relaying that context? Which venue is transmitting it? which venue is boosting it, and what, if anything, do they want you to believe. Used to be that this was a very straightforward process. You saw something and the news said what it was and you believed it. Now, on every step along the way, there is room for error, and there is room for malfeasance, and there is room for these strange, non-existent echoes to crop up. It's really a mystery lake of information in the present day and age, and I think this UAP scare really proves it. And to make things more complicated, there are entire military agencies and government agencies whose job it is to spoof these things. For what end, only they know. But we really are living in a very bizarre world. You can only trust your two eyes, and sometimes not even those. But always take everything you see on that little tablet on social media with a little grain of salt. That being said, now I'm gonna enjoy my own salty Christmas snacks, and I wish you all a happy Christmas and a happy 2025. Once again, if you listened this far, please comment saying Merry Christmas so I know you watched all the way. As always, this has been CM Kozeman. What do you think about these UAPs? Do you think I'm right or wrong? If you can't support me on Patreon, a little comment also helps, because you drive the algorithm interaction and stuff like that. So if you got any other theories of your own about what these things might be, let us know in the comments. And as always, I love you all. Goodbye for now.